Hey guys, Matt here. Welcome to my channel, a place where we can talk about lifestyle, tech, etc, desk setups. So if you like those kind of things, please make sure to subscribe. And in today's video, I want to talk about Dehancer. And with that, I want to answer three main questions. What is Dehancer? Who is Dehancer for? And how to use it? I always love the film look, and I always try to get the film look, but before Dehancer, it was pretty hard to achieve that because first, I'm not a pro colorist and I don't know much about color grading. So it's pretty hard because if you want to get the film look, you have to understand the colors, you have to understand film, you have to understand how it works so you can get the look you want to achieve. So if you want to know more about it, let's dive in. Quick heads up. Dehancer did send me the software so I could try out and review it, but they said that I should give my honest opinion. So everything that I'm going to say here now is 100% my opinion. That's it. So first question, what is Dehancer? So as you probably know from my intro, Dehancer is a film emulation software created for everyone that wants to achieve that film look. The guys from Dehancer have over 30 years of analog experience, which allows us to get a truly cinematic look. With over 60 film emulations, the possibilities are endless here. And if you want to complete the look and apply a realistic film effect, you can also do it with film grain, halation, bloom, and more. Once you head over to Dehancer.com, you're going to notice that Dehancer has a lot of options to choose from. So if you want to do with video, photo, or edit on mobile, you have these options available to you. You also have the option to choose from other versions of the plugin. So if you don't need the pro version, you can also choose from other versions too. Dehancer is also available on all the major editing softwares out there, so you are pretty much covered. And in order to achieve better results while editing, Dehancer also supports more than 130 camera log profiles. And once you decide which version you want to buy, Dehancer gives you the option to choose from a lifetime version, or you can also subscribe. You can install Dehancer on your Mac OS, Windows, or Linux. And if you want to try out before buying it, you can also get the free trial and see for yourself. And now you might be asking yourself, who is Dehancer for? And I think Dehancer is for everyone that wants to achieve a film look. But you have to have one thing in mind, because Dehancer is a little bit on the pricier side. So you have to ask yourself a few questions before buying it, because if you are a professional content creator, you're going to save a lot of time by having such a tool. And also money, because if you're a professional, you have to hire someone to do the color grading for you. You might as well buy the software and do it yourself, because you're probably going to save money. If you are a beginner, for example, and you don't have the budget for it, I think you should look for something else, because, for example, DaVinci Resolve 19, they have now the Film Look Creator, I think it's called, where you can achieve like kind of a film look, and it's not as good as Dehancer, I would say, but it gets the job done. And yeah, just go for it instead, because then you can save money. But if you are a professional or content creator, then just go for the plugin, because Dehancer is amazing. It's going to save you time and probably going to save you money as well, or make you money. So I think that's it. And now let's jump to DaVinci Resolve 19, where I'm going to show you guys how I edit my footage. It's going to be something simple, straight to the point, because if you want to go in depth with it, I think Dehancer has on their website like a huge library of tutorials, Q&As on how to edit properly. And if you go on YouTube as well, there's a lot of people teaching how to do it with more information, and they are probably better than I to explaining these kind of things. So yeah, let's jump into it. So here we are inside DaVinci Resolve 19, as you guys can see. And before we jump on how Dehancer works, I just want to show how I work when I'm using Dehancer. So first of all, here's my color management, the settings I use for it. And then once my settings are right, I come here and I drop a CSD node where I translate my camera settings to DaVinci Wide Gamut Intermediate. And then I do my basic adjustments. And then I drop my Dehancer node. Once I drop my Dehancer node, I make sure my input source is also DaVinci Resolve Wide Gamut Intermediate. And then after selecting that, I do all my color grading. And once I'm done with it, I just drop another node for color space transform, where I translate from DaVinci Wide Gamut Intermediate to Rec 709 before I export it. So let's jump into another project so I can show you how the Dehancer makes our lives easier if you are a beginner, for example, and then we can use only one node to achieve great results. So let's jump into it. So guys, here we are inside a new project, and I just want to quickly go through and show you guys how I would edit this footage so I could post on my social media accounts, for example. So first of all, I want to show you guys my project settings under color management, and my color science is set to DaVinci Resolve YRGB. My timeline color space is going to be Rec 709A because I'm using a Mac, and my output is going to be the same as timeline. And then you just have to hit save. And next, you have to search under the library for Dehancer after you install it, and then you can apply it to your node. After doing that, you guys can see already that Dehancer is applying some film look into it. What I like to do is I press option and then I go to input, and then I click on input, and then everything looks like that. And I go to options and I disable all the tools because I want to have the control of everything, and I want to see what I am enabling or not. So if you just bought Dehancer, you can go here under license info, and then you can apply your code to it so you can start using it. And then you can check all the profiles as well to see if everything is up to date. So next, after disabling everything, I go to my input. I choose my camera profile. So I shot this on a Canon R6 Mark II and under C-Log 3. So you can see already that the footage looks way better, and then we can start editing from here. Yeah. So what I do next is going to my film, and then I enable the film tab, and you can see already that Dehancer is applying the Kodak Vision 3 250D look into it. It looks pretty cool. Dehancer also offers you more than 60 options to choose from, which is pretty nice. You can make something really good with it. So as you can see here, like, it changes a lot as you choose the film stock you want. So in this case, I think I'm going to use Kodak Vision 3 50D. And what I do next is choose the print. So normally people choose Kodak 2383 because it's what the Hollywood movies also use normally. This is how it looks when you apply it. This is Fujifilm. One film print that I like to use is this one, the glossy paper, Kodak Enduro glossy paper, because I like the contrast and the saturation it adds to your footage. So I think in this case, I'm not going to use Kodak 2383, but I'm going to use the glossy paper instead. After doing that, then I start making the adjustments to the footage. Like, I think this footage already looks pretty good. I don't see many changes that we need to do to it, but here, for example, under input, this is like a global settings you can change. So you can change the exposure, for example, the temperature, whatever. But what I like to do is I like to make the changes under my film and print, and sometimes I use the other options here to edit my footage and make the adjustments needed. But in this case, since I don't think we need to change much, I think I'm going under the print and change my settings here, because then it's going to behave more like a film would once you're in the dark room. So let's see here. I think I'm going a little bit up on my exposure. Tone up my contrast, I think I'm going a little bit up as well. My color density, as I move here this slide, you guys can see that I add a little bit of saturation, more density to my colors. And I think I'm going to go a little up to, and my saturation is already on 100%, and I'm going to leave it there. This is looking pretty good already. What I like to do as well, once I like the look that I'm having here already. So what I do next, I think I go and apply some film grain to it to look more like film. And once you enable it, you can see already the film grain being applied to it. If you want to go crazy, you can go and choose 8mm, and you see that you have way more grain applied to it. The one that I like more is the 35mm 50 ISO, and it looks pretty cool, clean, it's not too much. And if you want, you can also adjust here the amount of film grain you want, and you can also go and custom the settings, so which is pretty cool, and I like this feature. But let's stay with 35mm 50. And what I do next, I like to add a little bit of halation as well, which is pretty cool. I think it adds so much character to my footage. And you guys can also go crazy if you go like 8mm Super 8. But what I like to do is also to keep on my 35mm here, because it adds some character to it, but not too much. You can also amplify here the effect, and let's keep it more or less like that. And then what I do next is add a little bit of bloom. And as you guys can see, once I add bloom, it adds this dreamy look to my footage as well. It's not too much, but it's enough to give that dreamy vibe to it. And as always, you can go crazy with that, but I like to keep it under 35mm as well. And then I just adjust here a little bit so it doesn't look too much. And then I think that's it. I think it looks pretty cool. So here's before, here's on log, and here's with the look applied to it. So I think it looks pretty cool already, and it looks amazing, to be honest. I like it, and I think I would stop here. But Dehancer also have a lot of other options that you can choose from, and I'm going to show you next a little bit more of it and how it would affect your image. So here's a little bit of the other options you can choose from. As I mentioned before, Dehancer is also available on iOS, so if you want to grab it, just go to the App Store and download it. One thing though that's important to mention, you have to subscribe to it in order to take the watermarker out of it. This is one thing that I don't like about the app, but if you want to buy it, you are going to have access to all the features that you have on the desktop version too. here are some edits that I made using the iOS app. That's it for this video, guys. If you wanna buy Dehancer, make sure to use code MAMUA10 to get 10% off. And if you like the video, please make sure to like the video. If you wanna comment, if you have any questions, please let me know down below in the comments as well. Make sure to subscribe. See you next time.